Hi everyone, this is Dr. D at Thrive Head and Spinal Care. I just want to take this opportunity to make you a short little video to answer probably what is the most common question I've been asked over the last 20 to 30 years. And that is, when should I apply cold and when should I apply heat and how long? So let's take a moment or two and address those issues. If I was speaking in general terms, is if I've ended the day, for an example, and I just have some tight muscles. Maybe I was sitting at a desk all day long, or maybe I was working and having to hold a bent over posture for an extended period of time. And now I've got some tight muscles at the end of the day. No trauma, nothing hit me, I didn't fall, nothing like that. It's just tight, tension, it's uncomfortable. Moist heat is your best friend. And there are different sources for moist heat. I can take a hot shower, I can soak in a bathtub. If you have access to a hot tub, you could do that. Some of us have those little cloth bags that have usually rice in them, and you can put them in the microwave and it heats them up, and the rice has moisture trapped within them, the individual rice kernels, and as you microwave that up, that starts to let off that moisture. You'll literally see steam coming out of those usually. Again, use common sense, make sure you don't make them too hot. Test them before you put them onto the skin. But that's moist heat. Moist heat penetrates much deeper than dry heat. So if I'm going to go to the trouble of putting heat on, I encourage you to use moist heat. They even make some of the newer style heating pads, the electrical heating pads. Some of them are rated for, and come with a sponge or whatever, for producing moist heat, which is great. Make sure you don't try to use an old style heating pad, electrical heating pad, and turn it into one of those. That's dangerous. Now, on the flip side of that, let's say that I actually had an injury. I fell, I maybe lost my balance and I reached out to grab for something and it yanked my shoulder. I bent over to pick up a box and got sharp pain in my low back, where I actually had an injury. Then you don't want to apply heat. Your best friend is ice. Because if I've actually injured an area, my body's going to produce inflammation, and that inflammation is going to be put into the bloodstream, and it's through the bloodstream it goes out to the area that was damaged, that was injured, and it leaks out and produces inflammation. And that's actually part of the healing process, but we just don't want the inflammation to go crazy on us, right? We get too much inflammation, our pain goes up, and it takes longer to heal. But here's the deal. Remember now, it gets there through the pipeline. The pipeline is that blood supply, that blood vessel. So if I apply heat after I've been injured, what does it do? It dilates the blood vessel. It makes the pipe bigger, which means more inflammation can get delivered to the area. That means more pain, for one thing. Now, if I instead, after watching this video, I know to put on cold pack, it makes the blood vessel constrict down. It doesn't shut it off, but it gets it much, much smaller. So it makes it much more difficult for too much inflammation to get into the area. And so I have less pain and I heal quicker. You follow me on that? So that's actually how the icing or putting on the cold pack works. So cold can be our best friend. Nobody likes to put on something cold. Heat always has more of a soothing effect initially. But if I put on cold if I put on heat when I should have put on cold, because I had an injury and I've got inflammation starting, I can actually be in more pain 6 to 12 hours later. So I encourage you to follow those guidelines. And if you've had injury, if indicated, make sure you go see your doctor for that too, right? I want to give you a couple examples of some great type of ice packs. These gel packs work really well. Even when they're frozen, they're usually still moldable. I would encourage you though, you don't want to put the cold plastic against your skin, so you can take like a paper towel, moisten it up a little bit in the sink, and then wrap it around here, and then you can put that onto your skin. If you happen not to have one of those in your freezers, don't worry. Just make sure you got a frozen bag of peas or corn. These work great. See? You just kind of break them up if they're frozen into clumps. You put it over the injured area, say it was my shoulder, and again, I instantly start to feel the cold. And hey, once you get all healed up and stuff, you can steam these up and there's dinner. So that works out really well too. Now, lastly, I want to leave you with how long do you ice? Well, the general rule, again, is 15 to 20 minutes, but understand it is based upon the thickness of the body part. So I never ice longer than 15 to 20 minutes at a time, never. But If it's a real thin body part, like say the top of my hand, I'm only going to ice that for maybe 5 to 8 minutes because it's so thin the cold will penetrate very, very quickly. But if it's a thicker area, bigger area, say like my thigh or something like that, I need to leave it on longer to let the cold penetrate in. But remember, never longer than 15 to 20 minutes. And then if we're dealing with an injury, I can take the ice pack off. I can wait at least an hour, and I can put it back on. And then for the time duration we've just discussed, and then I can take it off, wait about an hour or so, and I can ice 3 to 4 times a day if I've had an injury like that. I hope you all find that helpful, and if you have questions you'd like me to answer relating to some of these health topics, just send me an email, respond to one of these videos, below one of these videos, and I'll do my best to answer those questions for you too. And otherwise, I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.